Why do we got a big metal American? Ooh. Yeah, speed hump. No shit, I missed that speed hump. So why do we got a big giant American flag like that? Why is there not one spot in Chicago that has a big ass metal American flag anywhere? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking their flag, I'm just saying, why the fuck don't we got a big giant fucking American flag somewhere? Oh, new executive orders. Let's see what Trump's doing now. That's pretty big big catch of soft guard.
You like saving money? Don't answer that. It's a rhetorical question.
No, I don't. I like paying more and getting American made, actually.
Did you know that Mint Mobile is...
If it means I gotta spend like $20, $30, $40 more to get a made in the USA ratchet rather than spend $5 to get a Chinese ratchet, I'd rather spend $20 more and get the one made in the USA that's probably made with better quality, like the Snap-on in particular. I'd rather spend more money on that than get some cheap Chinese garbage. Looks like Trump's got some new executive orders he's signing.
They came out looking good. If I had that look, I would have been president 20 years ago. I wouldn't have had to wait so long. You look great, fellas. But we have many of them. I didn't even realize it at the time, but I visited them. They did an incredible job. The doctors are absolutely unbelievable, the job they do. So we were having a little meeting, and at the same time, we're signing some very important legislation, what will become legislation, and right now it's an executive order, and having to do mostly with education. We have our Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, who's been so incredible over the last few weeks. I've been watching her on television. I'd like to tell her she could do better, but she can't. She can't do any better.
Oh wow, look, they got all the tents out of here. Remember all the tents that were here when we came last time? There was a whole shitload of tents over here. A whole bunch of tents. They were everywhere. On the left side, on the right side. They're all gone now, see? No more tents. No more people living in our parks. Hopefully they were U.S. citizens and they gave them actual housing, and then, or they put them in if it was migrant. It looked like mostly American citizens, or they moved under the bridge too. Well, they finally cleaned up the park though. You know what's crazy? They're worried about a bunch of cars drifting in intersections on the north side, but they didn't give a fuck when all them people from Venezuela were living in all of our parks all over Chicago. They didn't give a fuck about when they were fucking literally invading the city, the invaders.
So I want to thank you, Linda. Fantastic. And we also have commerce, and we have labor with us today, and you have been, thank you very much. And Howard, thank you very much. And we'll take some questions after we're finished. Maybe I'll ask Will to step forward, and you can go through some of these. Also, Lindsay, you work with Will, two very talented lawyers.
New executive orders by
Thank you, Mr. President. And
best president ever.
Why don't you come over here? In fact, why don't the three of you come over here?
We also have a special guest with us today, sir.
Oh, that's
got
right.
the hats next to them.
Albright. Where is Annette? Annette Albright. Charlotte Mecklenburg, school teacher. Very special one. Thank you very much.
Made that White House look
It's
nice.
a great honor to have you. Got all sorts of awards for talent. That's good. Thank you very much for being with us. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, please.
Sir, the first executive order we have prepared for your attention, there are currently laws on the books requiring certain disclosures of universities when they accept large foreign gifts. We believe that certain universities, including, for example, Harvard, have routinely violated this law, and this law has not been effectively enforced. So this executive order charges your departments and agencies with enforcing the laws on the books with respect to foreign gifts to American universities.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need no foreign gifts to our universities. Get that foreign
Thank you
shit
very
out of
much.
here.
We'll put it right here.
Next for you, sir, university accreditation is currently a process controlled by a number of third-party organizations. That's by statute, by law. Many of those third-party accreditors have relied on sort of woke ideology to accredit universities instead of accrediting based on merit and performance.
woke ideology.
This executive order affects a number of changes to the
Not to interrupt, but Elon Musk's one of his kids, he got the woke virus real bad. He's very, very ill with the woke virus. It's sad.
University accreditation process also applies to law schools and other sort of graduate programs. But the basic idea is to force accreditation to be focused on the merit and the actual results that these universities are providing, as opposed to how woke these universities have gotten. So we're setting up new accreditation pathways. We're charging the Department of Education.
They got that virus real bad, that woke virus, kind of like how Elon Musk's male son has the woke virus. Elon Musk's son, who wants to be a daughter, but he was born with a penis, he's got the woke virus real sick and nasty. He's got that woke virus like the worst, not the worst, but pretty goddamn bad.
To really look holistically at this accreditation mess and hopefully make it much better.
Will we look into the past people that they've taken? For instance, I hear all about certain grade schools, and then we read where they're going to teach people basic math that we can all do very easily, but they can't do. They're, going to the top school, and they come out with a program of teaching basic math to somebody that got into a Harvard or a Princeton or a Yale. Is that part of this?
When universities are not performing appropriately, whether that's in admissions or whether that's in their actual instructional activities, that's certainly something that accreditors should be considering, that right now we believe they're not doing a good enough job of, and I think Secretary McMahon could probably speak to that a bit better than I could.
So they're allowing people into school that can't do math, and yet kids who've worked really hard and number one in their class in a high school someplace in New Jersey or in Mississippi, they can't get into the best schools. What is that all about?
Yeah, and I think that gets to your policy, sir, of meritocracy, that we should be looking at those who have real merit to get in, and the part of those universities that aren't enforcing that.
Okay, thank you. And this pretty much does it, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, during your first administration, you made promoting historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, a major priority. This executive order takes existing law on HBCUs and brings it into effect. We're going to be setting up a White House initiative on HBCUs. The basic idea here is making sure that every aspect of your administration is working to ensure that HBCUs are able to do their job as effectively and as efficiently as possible.
Okay.
And all those blacks that said Trump never did anything for blacks, right? There's a whole executive order he did for blacks.
Okay.
To help them.
This next executive order relates to artificial intelligence education, sir. You've obviously done a lot in the artificial intelligence space already. The basic idea of this executive order is to ensure that we properly train the workforce of the future by ensuring that school children, young Americans, are adequately trained in AI tools so that they can be competitive in the economy years from now into the future.
I don't like the whole AI thing, but I get why he's doing it. I mean, that's what we gotta do to stay ahead of everyone else. But that shit's dangerous, man. Like even Trump, man. I'm saying this to you, man. Did you not see the movie The fucking Terminator? I mean, Skynet, iRobot. I mean, all those movies didn't end well. Man, these motherfuckers on these bikes. Fucking like they're a fucking car in the fucking road. You're on a bike, man. They got fucking bike lanes that fucking you can't even fucking that take up traffic. Go in your fucking bike lane.
AI becomes a bigger and bigger deal.
That's a big deal because AI is where it seems to be at. We have literally literally trillions of dollars being invested in AI. And somebody today, a very smart person, said that AI is the way to the future. I don't know if that's right or not, but certainly very smart people are investing in it heavily.
And that would be a good stock to buy right now. Artificial intelligence. Buy some stocks in artificial intelligence, and I guarantee you in like 5 years you'll make a lot of money. If you buy the right companies, obviously. I mean, you just can't pick any random fucking AI company. You gotta pick ones that seem like they're gonna succeed, you know? But at the same time, like, I don't know, man, that AI, like, it's like, I mean, Terminator, iRobot, like I already said, those movies didn't end well for humans. Even Futurama, Bender, kill all humans. I mean, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like that great. I mean, I get why he's doing it. Just hopefully we don't turn on Skynet.
Good.
I like how he holds it up and shows what he signed. I didn't do none of that shit.
Next year, we have an executive order on workforce
And
development.
everything's explained.
This executive order is going to charge numerous departments and agencies within the government to reshape the way that we do workforce development. One example from the executive order, for instance, we're looking to get the total number of
I gotta retitle this
new
video
apprenticeships up to 1
executive
million in the country to ensure that in critical jobs areas, in areas where we currently don't have enough trained workers, that we're recreating that pipeline to ensure that, particularly as we onshore industrial jobs and new industries, that those industries have the workforce they need to be competitive globally.
Right. Very important.
And this is the EO that we're all here working together.
And in a way, this is like a training center, right, for what we're trying to do, which is jobs and great salaries. These are great salaries, too.
Right, it's exactly, so all those factories that you're bringing in because of your trade policy, we're going to train people in trade craft, bring back trade craft to America so that people can work in these factories with great paying jobs, and we're going to train them, and we're going to remake the American dream for all these people. We're working together.
That's right.
Right, Lori?
Absolutely. This plays right into America at Work Tour, which I have kicked off. We will work with our state partners and work with our businesses to see exactly who they need in that workforce, and we will skill and upskill these apprentices so they can get right to work and get in the field and build back this economy for exactly living the American dream. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Next, sir, we have an executive order on school discipline policies. Under, I believe it was the Biden administration, first Obama and then Biden, the Department of Justice issued guidance that made it almost impossible for schools to enforce adequate disciplinary policies. This created issues in the classroom for teachers and students alike. Basically, they focused on CRT and sort of diversity ideology instead of actually just enforcing the rules in classrooms to ensure a safe learning environment. This executive order revokes that prior guidance and puts us back in a place where hopefully the Department of Education can focus on education and teachers can focus on teaching in a safe environment.
And this was important for you, Linda, as I understand it.
Yeah, absolutely, because it gives teachers the authority now to have discipline in their classroom and discipline the person who is being disruptive. We took that away.
Okay. Nice.
Cool.
Here, Linda, you should hold that.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order on disparate impact theory. This is a theory that underlies a lot of the modern DEI and CRT-driven diversity culture. The basic idea here is instructing your departments and agencies to no longer rely on disparate impact theory as they're regulating, as they're issuing guidance, as they're making rules. We want to focus on results. We want to focus on actual fairness. We want to focus on merit, not things like disparate impact theory and the whole sort of diversity, equity, and inclusion
I agree.
cult.
That's a good
Getting
one.
out of that, huh?
Yes, sir.
After being in that jungle for a long time. Okay. Thank you. Very good job.
Thank you, sir.
you very much.
Appreciate it.
Very much. Would you like to introduce again Annette, and perhaps Annette wants to say something having to do with that?
To
Annette is right here.
Yes, Annette. Yes, please come over. Would you like to have some comments to make? I know you're a former Charlotte Mecklenburg school teacher. I'm a North Carolina girl, so
Yes,
it's
New
nice to
Bern.
see you. Yes, from
Yes.
New Bern.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here. This has been an 8-year journey for me to raise awareness to the violence that's in public schools and the critical need to address violence in public schools. Again, been doing it 8 years because most administrations like to keep the violence hidden. We have 3 students that should be here with us today. We have Austin McCaff, I'm sorry if I say his name wrong, Serenity Baker, and Nizir Taylor from Charlotte, North Carolina, who was shot in the back as he was getting off of a school bus because they thought he was a part of a big brawl that happened inside a public high school. So this is very important and critical legislation that we have to keep our educators safe, we have to keep our students safe, and public schools have to be safe environments. So I think, like I said, I've done this journey alone, I've been on it, but I have a whole team behind me now. I spoke at the RNC and I told millions that Donald Trump and his administration was going to make schools great again, and I feel that we're on the right path, and I'm just honored to be here.
Thank you. Moving just to our great vets that are with us, and is it okay if I give her one? What do you think?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it
very
very
much.
much. Thank you. What an honor.
Great job. Could I ask Sarah to speak, Gerardo?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Tell
Thank
us a
you.
little bit about these great gentlemen.
These heroes, Mr. President, are extraordinary. This is my husband, Michael, and so many of our dear, dear friends who are here today. Many of them have met you, sir, in your first administration in the hospital, many times at Walter Reed.
Right?
And they've had long recoveries. Tomorrow, for my husband, marks 15 years since he was wounded in Afghanistan. And on that day, about 6 years ago, he had his 120th surgery post-Afghanistan. And you came to see him at Walter Reed, and so many others.
This fucking road right here, they made it so fucking car unfriendly. There's nowhere to park your car on the right because of the stupid bike lane. There's nowhere to park your car on the left because of the stupid bike lane. And then not only is there nowhere to park your fucking car, they took away a lane from each side that used to be there too. Why don't they just make the fucking sidewalk smaller, make the fucking part of the sidewalk the fucking bikeway, and fucking keep traffic from fucking taking away parking spots like this stupid shit right up here, and fucking taking away lanes. Like, there should be 2 lanes right here, and it used to be 2 lanes, including going underneath this bridge right here. Look at this shit. Like, they could have put the bike, they could have made that fucking sidewalk smaller. There ain't that many people where you're gonna have people fucking that tightly packed into that fucking sidewalk. They could have made that sidewalk way more narrow and put the bike line over there and left a lane of fucking traffic. Same thing up here. And it's like you can't even use it as a lane of traffic because they got the big fucking barriers there. You're gonna fucking drive over a fucking curb. So it's not even like you can just go around on it like some of those bike lanes. Fucking, they gotta drive the fucking curb there. Or parking median, whatever the fuck you wanna call it. This is so, and then look how dead it is. Like, people that live on either side, or even the businesses here. That's where people can park their car to easily go in a business. That's where people can park their car to easily go in their house. But no, they can't because they want to make that big ass stupid bike lane there and up here.
And we saw great reform in the VA. Access, same-day access to prosthetics,
Hi.
mental health care, and
Hi, Anonymous. What's up? What a great bicycle-friendly road. Bro, this shit is stupid. It's not a great bicycle-friendly road. This is some of the stupidest shit in the world, and they're trying to do that fucking, the future agenda of you will own nothing. Well, Trump's not doing that, but that's what the New World Order shit wants to do, where they want to say you will own nothing, you'll have nothing, and you'll be happy with it. And this is them trying to start with getting rid of the cars where everyone's... I mean, look at this shit. Look at this shit for real. Like, fucking on each side. Like, there used to be parking on each side of the street right here, and you had 2 lanes of traffic in both directions right over here. And then they did this stupid shit. Like, they're trying to make it so, like, it's... Man, I got a green light, bro. What the fuck you doing? He's in a hurry. He ran a red light like a motherfucker. But, see, well, even right here, they got this stupid bike lane shit, man. On both sides. And then look at that foot barrier on each side from the car doors. Like, they could have put the bike lane for both directions on one single side, and they could have got rid of fucking that foot room there, narrowed up the sidewalk a little bit, and kept more lanes of traffic, or made parking spots. That's what
Know that is back. We're going to, these gentlemen were saying, Alex here earlier was saying, in the last few years when he's gone to get a wheelchair, the VA has asked him, this gentleman, they've asked him to prove that he still has his injuries, as though maybe his limbs would grow back.
What?
And they unfortunately did not. Yes, and we've seen that many times. And so we're excited for you bringing back the VA Accountability Mission Act, Community Care.
The guy
That was
right
a
there in the
hallmark of your first
wheelchair,
term.
see him?
And we're so excited, sir, to be here. We're honored to be here. And thank you for all you do for our
Well,
nation's heroes.
Thank you. Who's that picture on there?
That is Joe Biden, and it says, "Let's go, Brandon."
I made a Joe Biden joke.
I'm saying, what was that picture? That's great.
I told him he wasn't allowed to ask you to
That's
sign
great.
it.
That's very good. Well, thank you all very much. Would you like to say anything, fellas? There's a big chance you have a lot of good people watching that believe in you. They happen to be the media, but they believe very much in you, like I do. Anybody?
Mr. President, we're very happy with the energy that this administration is bringing, and it's an administration that does what it promises, and so we're behind you. We believe in you, and I think we all love you. I guess speak for everybody.
Thank you very much, and I'm going to get you a better hat. Say I have better hats. That's a good one. That was the original.
That's an old school
That means he was there.
We wearing it before it was cool.
That's right. That's an early one. We'll save that one though, right? Thank you. Anybody, please?
We got 6 corners here.
I was just going to say thank you for loving America, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trump, for loving America. I agree.
Thank you.
This house looks pretty old. I think that one's the oldest, judging by the brick up top.
As he was the one that saved Michael Bardo, put him in the helicopter, and got him off the combat zone.
The architecture.
So, the selflessness of these men is unspeakable.
That's great. See ya.
He's alive because of Batman right here.
That's very good. And these are amazing people, great heroes, so that's really great. Anybody else? Yes.
I'd like to say it was an honor to
Hey, American
serve.
shoppers.
You are worth it. This country's worth it. Just because of what Christ paid for it.
Thank you. And we have a spirit that people haven't seen in many years, at least 5. They haven't seen. I think even then, because we've been through so much for the last 4 years together, it was so bad. It was so bad what they've done to the borders, what they've done all over the place, and it's really an honor to be with you, all of you. Incredible. And I'm going to give you these coins. And I think you're going to really like them. I think they're the best. These are the best coins. And you have your chairs. This is gunmetal. I don't know. Soldiers like the black, but I think you like this one. It's okay. A lot of soldiers like the black. Here you go. What do you like?
I'll go the black.
Huh?
Yeah.
See, I told you. You have that. Those are choices.
I'll take a black one, sir.
Okay, look at this. That rarely happens. You're different, huh?
I'll take a black one, sir.
There you go. That's good.
Call the military.
No, but is that, I always say the soldiers.
Oh, there's that guy. That guy. Cool.
What do you like?
He made it to the White House. Why can't I?
Gold is I'm giving him 2.
We have 3 girls.
One
They're
for
going to
this
fight.
one right here. We'll get another one. Yeah.
Bill, come on, I got your head in my passenger seat. I can't get an invitation to the White House?
I'll take the gold, Mr.
That'd be cool, President
I
Trump.
thought you were going to take that gold. Okay,
Gold one, sir.
okay, you got it.
I had an opportunity to sail across the Gulf of America 2 days after you named it right.
Oh, wow, is that great?
I like how you threw that in there after he
An
said it.
honor. And now people say it routinely.
Yep.
They don't even think about that they're saying routinely.
I want to go visit the Gulf of America.
Okay,
I'll take a gold one, sir.
okay. Steve, and I think gold is an edge.
I would love a gold one,
You
sir.
got it?
Thank you so much. Thank
You
you.
go. And pick
Oh,
up
yeah,
at
it's
the
real
end, right? So you all okay? That's good. So I want to thank you very much, and especially that's a great story. Yeah. So what do you think of a guy like that? Pretty good.
We actually, him and him, we all served together.
Wow.
It's a pretty old building on the left.
And Jared over there.
So you
And
guys,
I forgot.
so you guys got hit, huh? Pretty good. We got hit.
Pretty good.
Amazing, amazing.
Pretty tough area in Kandahar, in the Argonaut River Valley,
Right,
right outside
it's tough.
Kandahar.
Their unit had a more than 50% Purple Heart rate, sir, in 2010.
You deserve it. You deserve that and more. We appreciate it so much. Brave, really brave, brilliant people. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions of the guys here?
I want to say thank you to the veterans who are here. Thank you so much for defending us. And then I wanted to ask you, Mr. President, because you said you want to bring the tariffs on China down soon. How soon do you want to bring the tariffs on Chinese goods
Well,
down?
that depends on them. We have a situation where we have a very, very great place. It's called the United States of America, and it's been ripped off for years and years. These people know it. We talked about it before you came in. We've been ripped off by every country in the world practically, and friend and foe.
Yeah.
And we're not doing that anymore. So what's happened is Howard, how many countries have we spoken to already? 90. And they all want to make deals. They wanna
Oh,
make
big
deals.
pothole.
But they're going to be fair deals. They're not going to be
I couldn't
rip-off
avoid it
deals.
because I was under the
You know,
bridge
we
and
were
I had a
losing
car right
almost
next to me.
$5 billion a year. No
shit
country
hit
can do
hard.
that. And
I
now
was
we
like
have
a
it down
fucking
almost to even, maybe even better than even,
8-inch deep
because of the
pothole,
tariffs
probably.
on cars and aluminum and steel. We have tariffs 25% on cars, aluminum and steel. And there's a rush to build new steel plants, a rush to build new aluminum plants, and a biggest rush I've ever seen, that we've ever seen, to build car plants. We have like 11 of them or something.
I hope
Big
one of
ones,
them is for
where
a
you guys
futuristic
maybe work-
looking third gen
Maybe you won't want to
Camaro.
work, you'll do
And
something
the other
else
one is
instead of
for a
that. But if you like
futuristic
cars, you'd like to
looking
work on one of these plants, the
70
biggest
to
plants in the world.
72
Three of them
Chevy
have left Mexico
Chevelle
before
V8,
construction
both of
started.
them
One of them
V8s.
during construction, and they're coming to
They
this
can both
country.
have
They're
the
coming back.
LS
Don't forget.
motors.
And we get along great with
That's what
Mexico, but
that's what I
Mexico
want
took
to see
32% of
happen.
our
I hope one of those
building
car plants
business.
he's talking about is
So,
going to build some new
it's
muscle
amazing
cars
what's
for us.
happened. Remember this number, anywhere from $3 to $5
I saw an
billion
electric Dodge
a
Hornet
day.
earlier. Ugh,
That's not $1 million, that's $1 billion a day. Nobody can even imagine it. And that's what we were losing. And, hence we have $36 trillion in debt and everything else. And in the end, I think what's going to happen is we're going to have great deals. And by the way, if we don't have a deal with a company or a country, we're going to set the tariff. We just set the tariff. It's something that we think that will happen, I'd say, over the next couple of weeks. What do you say? I think so. Over the next 2-3 weeks, we'll be setting the number. And we're going to pick, could be for China too, could be for China. Well, we're dealing with almost all of them. Too many to fully deal with, but we're going to be fair to them. But we're dealing with a lot of countries right now, and could be with China, but maybe we'll make a special, a deal, and we'll see what it will be. Right now, it's 145%. That's very high. It got there because of the fentanyl. They're sending, massive amounts of fentanyl into our country and killing a lot of people, probably 200,000 plus a year, wiping them out. You probably all have friends who were killed, somebody was killed in your family or your friends with fentanyl, and somehow it's made almost exclusively in China. And as you know, we essentially taxed them 10 and then another 10. We also taxed Mexico 25 and we taxed Canada 25. And that's the kind of money that's what's pouring into our country right now. And it's gotten us down from losing $3 to $5 billion a day to actually making money, but breaking even, let's say. But we're going to make a lot of money. And that money is going to be used to reduce taxes. We're going to get big tax breaks. We're going to, there was a time, I said it this morning, I think some of you were there. There was a time from 1870 to 1913, it was a long time ago, we were an all-tariff nation. The foreign nations paid taxes. They paid money to us in the form of tariffs.
America
and that was when we were the wealthiest. We were the wealthiest proportionately that we ever were. And they formed committees in 1.7 in particular, but they formed committees to determine what we should do with all the money. We had so much money, you guys would have loved it. We had so much money, they didn't know what to do with it. We gave it away to different causes, and you haven't seen that too much anymore, although we give plenty away, but now we shouldn't be giving it away. We have to take care of ourselves first.
Take care of our country
But
first.
we were very wealthy, and proportionately the wealthiest we ever were. We built the Panama Canal. Jimmy Carter gave that away for $1, by the way.
What?
One
Jimmy
of the most
Carter,
profitable
why?
things ever built, the Panama Canal. We gave it away for $1 to Panama. Why? I don't know. Nobody knows, but that's what we had. We had people like that sitting behind this desk. And
like Joe
that shouldn't
Biden.
have happened. Panama Canal, it was the most expensive thing ever built by our country in history. I'm talking in relative dollars. We've never built anything so expensive. I think it was the equivalent of $1.7 billion. And we've never built anything like that. We built a lot of things, but never so expensive. Then we started building other things. We had a lot of money to do it, all based on foreign countries coming in and paying us tariffs. And we're doing that again, and I think we're going to make so much that we're going to be able to reduce taxes in this country by a lot. And we're also going to treat those countries very fairly. But if we don't make a deal, which is possible, we're going to just set the price. Because you remember, they have to come in, they want to come in here, and they want to do business with the United States. So we want to set a fair price, and we'll do that. We're going to be very fair, but we'll set a fair price, and then they can make a determination as to whether or not they want to do business with the United States. And I think most of them will, and I think we're going to treat them very fairly.
Were you worried about what the 125% tariffs were doing to small businesses here in the U.S.? Is that why you're bringing it down?
No, I haven't brought it down. I haven't brought it still 145. I haven't brought it down. I said it's a high tariff. It is a high tariff, but I haven't brought it down. It basically means China's not doing any business with us, essentially, because it's a very high number. So when you add that to the price of a product, a lot of those products aren't going to sell. But China's not doing any business. They were doing $1.1 trillion. Think of that. $1.1 trillion. You know what that is? And it was just very unfair to us. And we were doing relatively very little with them. It was very one-sided. But we get along. I get along very well with President Xi, and I hope we can make a deal. Otherwise, we'll set a price, and hopefully they'll come here and they'll contribute. And if they don't, that's okay.
There's a lot of leaders attending the Folks Kingdom who also said they'd like to meet with you while you're there. Do you have any meetings set up where you
Yes, I do. I have a lot of meetings set up. I don't know if I can do it. Do you want to help me out, fellas? I had a lot of meetings. I got every leader in the world, which tells you that we have a good product. It's called the United States of America, and it's great. And these people know about it better than anybody in this room. But we have a great place, and it should be a lot greater. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it greater than ever before. It's very simple. Well, I have a lot of meetings set up. Yeah.
And are you bringing anyone with you in the U.S. delegation to the funeral, like Secretary Rubio or a former president?
We have a couple of people coming. We'll announce it probably this evening or tomorrow. First Lady's going, and some people are coming with me from staff. But we'll have a number of people going.
Ooh, the First Lady's
it's going to be a beautiful ceremony.
I have one on Ukraine, but I wanted to ask you one about veterans since they are here today, and thank you for your service and sacrifice. I wanted to ask you about the cuts that have been made, including with the VA. Can you assure that veterans like these men here, those that have been suffering from mental health issues or burn pits, for example, will be taken care of?
Yeah, very much so. In fact, they will tell you it's been better with me than any president in history. We had a 92% approval rating, which is unheard of, up 50 points from the previous administration in my first 4 years, and we're doing better now. And in fact, now they have something to call in doctor stuff where it's really become modernized and great. We don't have to go and travel sometimes long distances to get to a clinic or get to the VA. And I just heard this morning, I was listening to Doug Collins, who's the secretary. He was being interviewed, and the numbers are incredible. The approval ratings are the highest I've never heard numbers like this. It's better than the first 4 years. So no, there's no group of people more important than the people in this room. And I am not talking about the media. I'm talking about these people right here. There's no group, and they're going to be taken really well care of. That's very important to me.
And on the war in Ukraine, are you going to be meeting with President Zelensky? He's asked to meet with you this weekend. Will you be meeting with him?
I don't know. I don't know that he's going to the funeral or not, but I just hope he gets this thing solved, because we're losing about, think of this, 5,000. I was saying 2,500, and everyone was telling me that's low. 5,000 soldiers are being killed every week, approximately. Think of that. Every week, 5,000 soldiers, but let's say from 3,000 to 5,000 are being killed. They're Russian and Ukrainian. They're not Americans, but they're Russian, but they're people. And they're humans, they're human beings, they have families, they wave goodbye to their son, and then they get a call that the son's no longer there. It's a vicious war, and if I can help solve it, you know, we're not losing our soldiers, but we're losing soldiers, a lot of people. And if I can solve it because of a certain ability, that would be great. And if it doesn't happen, I will say that I think Russia is ready, and a lot of people said Russia wanted to go for the whole thing. And I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky. So far it's been harder, but that's okay. It's all right. But I think we have a deal with both. I hope they do it, because I'm looking to save, and you know, we spend a lot of money, but this is about a lot of humanity. This is the worst. I get the pictures, the satellite pictures. I've never seen anything like it, of the fields after some of these battles. It's horrible that it's going for nothing. We would have never had this problem. You would have never had that war if I were president, I guarantee you that. And for 4 years you didn't have it.
Are you going to meet with Vladimir Putin? Are you going to meet with Vladimir Putin in Saudi Arabia?
It's possible, but most likely not. I think we'll meet with him shortly thereafter.
What is Mr. Wickoff going to present to the
Chairman Jerome Powell, during the Biden administration in the campaign,
Bicycles after that still cause battles.
lowered interest rates 2 times.
That's right.
Now, with 2 consecutive months of inflation
Yeah, but
being
big
down,
ass heavy electric
all
cars do
economic
cause
theory regarding
potholes.
8th grade says
The
it's
roads
time
weren't
to
made
cut
for the
rates
big
when
ass
inflation
batteries
gets
out
high.
on the
He's
road.
not done that. Have you had any direct conversation with him?
No, I haven't. I haven't called him. I might call him. I haven't called him, but I believe he's making a mistake by not lowering interest rates. And I think as well as we're doing, we'd do much better. He's keeping rates too high. He historically has been late, except when it came to Biden. He was recommended by a certain person that I'm not particularly happy with, but he will hopefully do the right thing. The right thing is to lower interest rates, so we'll see what happens. I think we're sitting on something that's going to be very good with all the tariff money starting to come in. Our country's going to be doing really well, and hopefully we don't have inflation. Groceries are down. When I first came in, people were there. They hit me with the first day that I was president. Somebody started screaming at me that eggs are up. I said, I just got here. And the first week they were going crazy. You remember that, Linda? Yes. They were going crazy. They're saying egg prices are. I said, I'm here for 1 week. Just leave me alone. This is a fake news radio. And I said, you know, what can I tell you? But Brooke Rollins, our Secretary of Agriculture, and a group working with her have done an amazing job. And egg prices have gone down 87%. Energy now is down $65 a barrel. They have some energy selling gasoline for less than $2 in a couple of states, Alabama, a couple of states, but all over the country it's way down from what it was 6 months ago, 3 months ago, and that has a lot to do with the war. You know, when Biden allowed energy to skyrocket, it just skyrocketed. It was out of control. Russia made a lot more money because they make their money on energy. He wants to end the war, but he lets energy.
Yeah, thank you, President Trump.
Russia made a lot
He's
of money.
drilling oil, the oil we got.
Look, I think he has a certain respect for me. One of the big reasons is oil prices are down. I think it's settled. Thank you. Thank you for that question.
For those of us that live here in the district, you said when you came in, you were going to make Washington, D.C. great again.
Right.
One of the issues we've got right now is we understand there might be an imminent deal between the owner of the Washington Football Team, whatever you want to quote him now, Commanders and locally in getting the Redskins back to DC and RFK Stadium. That's on federal property.
Right.
Are you going to be involved in that negotiation?
Yeah.
And when one of the stipulations be, they change the name back to the Redskins.
Oh, I see. Well, that's a little bit, nobody's asked me that one. Look, when the Indian population is a great part of this country, a great heritage. And we're talking about Massapequa, Long Island, the Chiefs, they call themselves the Chiefs, or the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not changing their name. A great team, great people, great owners, great coach, and quarterback like his girlfriend too, and his wife. His wife is great. She's been a big fan. His quarterback's mother is incredible. I like that team. They're called the Chiefs, and frankly, I see nothing wrong with it. They call them the Warriors, and not that team, but a lot of other teams, and all of these Indian surnames and different names. And I'm saying that I think that's a positive thing. And when you go back to Indians, they told us they don't know why these names are being taken off. They're trying to. I think it's degrading to the Indian population, and it's a great population, and they like when they're called by various names. Now, Washington. The Redskins, perhaps that's a little different, I can tell you that I spoke to people of Indian heritage that love that name and they love that team, and I think it's I think it's a superior name to what they have right now, and it had heritage behind it, it had something special. But a lot of the names having to do with, different places, not just Indians, but I think it's, they changed the name of the Cleveland Indians. Why would you take the name Indians off the Cleveland Indians? And now it's called the Cleveland something else. Right? Guardians. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Cleveland Guardians?
So, we're about bringing common sense back to this country. And it may be popular or unpopular what I'm saying and I've just said to you. He's a nice guy. He got a lot out of me on this one, but I think most people agree with me. I think it really is demeaning to Indians. But to change the name of the Cleveland Indians as an example to the Cleveland Guardians is not the same, and I'm sure it has an impact.
No, that sounds stupid.
Sir, thank you, sir. Elon Musk said he'll be
Cleveland Indians sounds way better than the fucking Cleveland Guardians.
Well, first of all, I can't speak more highly about any individual. He's an incredible guy. He's a brilliant guy. He's a wonderful person. I've seen him with his family. I've seen him with a lot of his children. He's got a lot of children. He treats them good. He loves his children. But he's a brilliant guy, and he was a tremendous help, both in the campaign and in what he's done with Doge. And we're talking about almost $200 billion and rising fast, because many of the things that we were looking at are now being found out to be fact. It's terrible. I mean, the fraud, the waste, the abuse, the everything that's happened is just terrible. So I also know that he was treated very unfairly by I guess you'd call it the public, by some of the public, not by all of it. I say he makes an incredible car, everything he does is good, but they took it out on Tesla. And I just thought it was so unfair because he's trying to help the country. But he has helped the country. I also want him to make sure that he's going to be in great shape, and I know he is. I mean, he's going to do great. He loves the country. He didn't need to do this. He did it. And I told him, I said, whenever you're ready, I'd like to keep him for a long time, but whenever you're ready, he's an exceptional guy. When you see those rockets go up and come back and land in the same gantry, nobody else can do that but this man. So he's just an incredible person, and he's a friend of mine, and he's a nice person too. He's a very nice person. He really helped the country, saved us a lot of money. And I heard him say that he'll start easing, he was always at this time going to ease out. And when he goes back to Tesla, that'll be taken care of. It's artificial. These were sick people that thought they were doing something. He's a great patriot, and it shouldn't be the way, that should never have happened to him. And I will tell you right now, he makes a great product. It's a great car. It's great everything. Starlink is great.
I don't like the electric cars.
He's doing medical things that are amazing. and we have to at some point let them go and do that. And we expected to be doing it about this time. But I'll talk to Elon about it. Thank you for the question.
A second question. Canada has an election coming up. How would you have a prediction for that, and what do you think the results are?
With respect to Canada?
With the negotiations?
Oh, I don't want to predict other nations' elections. It's tough enough doing this one. Look, I love the Canadian people. I like Canada, but it's costing us $200 billion a year to support Canada. $200 billion. And I say, why are we doing that? You know what? We can make our own cars. We have more energy than they do. We have more energy than anybody in the world. We don't need that lumber, obviously. We have more lumber. We have a lot of lumber. We have a lot of everything that they sell us. But in particular, cars, they took a large percentage of the car making, and I want to bring it back to this country. I really don't want cars from Canada. So when I put tariffs on Canada, they're paying 25%, but that could go up in terms of cars. When we put tariffs on, all we're doing is we're saying we don't want your cars in all due respect. We want really to make our own cars, which is what we're doing in record numbers now. You know, we're going to be at record levels in a very near future because of all the plants, the car plants that are being built. And I'd rather see them made in Michigan and made in South Carolina and made in different states, Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I agree. I like that.
A lot of great car making states, and we have some that aren't car making yet, but they will soon be car making states. And that's what I want to see for our country. At the same time, I want to help Canada. I have spoken to the current Prime Minister. He was very, very nice, I will say. Very nice. We had a couple of very nice conversations, very good. But I don't think it's appropriate for me to get involved in their election.
Mr. President, if I may, this deal that you have with Russia, does it include recognizing Russia's sovereignty over Crimea?
Well, everything is good. Look, I just want to see the war end. I don't care. If they're both happy, they both sign an agreement. I have no favorites. I don't want to have any favorites. I want an agreement. I have no favorites. I don't want to have any favorites. I want to have a deal done. I want to save the lives. Now, with that being said, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars through Biden. Biden should have never let that war happen. We're spending hundreds of billions, maybe 300.
Give it. Go back. Well, that's on live right now, see. Now you're live, looking at the live of the live. Now you're live, looking at the live of the live. See, it's a live. This is live that you're watching a live from that live, and now that's live on there, so you're seeing a live back in time by a few seconds. On there, so you're seeing a live. Feedback. You're getting a lot of feedback. Yo, what's up? That's loud. It's back in time here. This is all back in time by a few seconds. This is versus that. But it's like watching a live of a live. This is that. It's like watching a live of a live. This is that. It's like watching a live of a live.
As a busy family juggling work, kids, sports, and staying active, the Roadrunner Sports VIP program has been a total game.
They do not endorse me.
Sides when you're talking about, the release of hostages, when you're talking about potential ceasefire agreements, when you're talking about territory. As someone who's negotiated with some tough people on the battlefield, I can tell you it's a tough, imperfect, nuanced, and complicated process. And President Trump and Secretary Hegseth certainly understand that, with on the forefront of their mind peace as their first and foremost priority. General, do you have anything to add?
No, I would just echo what you said, sir, which is, the status of U.S. military aid, it has been turned back on. We've got confirmed reports that it is continuing or is flowing back into Ukraine. And of course, daily reports on the outcome of the intelligence sharing of those efforts. So all of that is.
So let's stick with the phones here just a second. I got Christina from Breitbart on the phones. Do I understand that?
Yes, thanks so much for doing this, Sean. Two questions. After U.S. strikes against the Houthis on Saturday, the Houthis fired drones and missiles at the Truman. Will there be a response to those attacks? And secondly, the Pentagon has deployed the USS Gravely. Can you tell us a little bit about what it will be doing there, exactly what its mission will be?
Oh, I guess I'll address the first part of your question first, Christina, and General, I'll let you chime in. The question
the General can chime
Houthis,
Damn Houthis.
Remind me what the first part of your question was, Christina.
Will there be a response
I hate
to
those
the
Houthis.
attacks on the Truman?
Fucking Houthis, man. They're always stirring up some shit, those goddamn Houthis.
We did get reports of the Houthis firing ballistic missiles and some one-way attack drones against U.S. forces in the region. Those attacks were largely ineffective and didn't come anywhere near U.S. forces in the region. Again, the commanders in command of those vessels were, they were completely on point with regards to defending. They were not effective attacks. And so I would also say the second part,
they were like
the answer to the second
cavemen
part of that
fucking
question was
throwing
that
a rock at a fucking person with a gun.
I mean, this isn't, there's going to be, as I mentioned, a very clear end state to this. And I think a lot of that has to do with how the Houthis respond. Firing at U.S. military personnel in the region and shooting at our ships and shooting at our drones and putting American lives at risk is not a good way to end this conflict. The Houthis could stop this tomorrow if they said, we're going to stop shooting at your people. But they've clearly chosen not to do that. And so this campaign will be relentless to degrade their capability and to open up shipping lanes in the region and to defend our homeland. But the general,
why do we gotta defend our homeland?
Thanks, Sean. The only thing I would add is, the Houthis claim to have tried to attack the various crewmen. Quite frankly, it's hard to tell because while we're executing precision strikes, they missed by over 100 miles. So I would just say their effectiveness, I would question anything
they missed by over 100 miles.
It's very hard to tell what they are just based on their level of incompetence that they've demonstrated so far. Yes, that's correct. There's also been a number of other attempts to interdict vessels in the Red Sea using UAVs and some cruise missiles as well. All of those have been easily defeated by our fighter aircraft that are there.
Easily defeated. Shade at the Houthis from the podium. I love it.
And some of the folks in here know that my previous job I dealt with the Houthis quite a bit.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Happy to throw shade at them. On the question about the USS Gravely that you had, Christina. She's deploying under General Guillot, the commander of U.S. Northern Command's authorities for maritime homeland defense missions. She'll go down, as Sean mentioned, into the Gulf of America and surrounding areas and be involved in the interdiction mission for any of the drugs and whatnot that are heading in. It'll be part.
Yo, like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll be back. Eco-friendly road, fuck that. Bicycle and pedestrians don't cause potholes. Yeah, some do. And then anonymous 13 message retracted. Alright, so extra. Thanks for watching.